If you're new to Poshmark and don't understand how offers work yet, in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to send offers. So the first question we want to answer is, when can you send offers? You can only send offers once someone has liked, that means hearted, your item. So what does it mean when someone likes an item on Poshmark? This means they're interested in your item, but it can mean different things. This does not mean you made a sale, or this does not mean that this person is committed to buying this item.
What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want?
People can heart items for different reasons. It can be that they're simply just browsing. They might want to just heart it and save it for later so they can come back to it. Or they're generally considering buying it, but they also want to price shop around. So the offers feature is great for the seller as well as the buyer, because if the buyer shows a heart as a seller, I can send a discounted offer as soon as they like the item, a day later, a week later, or months later if they've continued to like the item. So hopefully the item does sell then or over time. The nice thing also is that buyers can send you offers as well. Now you or the buyer have the option to decline, to counter offer, or just ignore it and it expires after 24 hours. Now, when I first started, I thought I was being a little pushy with sending offers.
Does this count as annoying?
I didn't know what time to send them or how often to send them. Honestly, this is a normal part of Poshmark. Sending offers is not spammy or being pushy. It's just normal. It's saying, hey, you like the item, and hey, I have a discount for you. Now, if you're wondering where to see your likes, what you can do is you can come up to your news tab up top, and this has all the news section. And then I would come over here to hit the likes button, and then this will show you all the likes. Another way to check your likes is go to your closet, and then you can simply view the items and you can see this one has 7 likes, this has 7 likes, this has 11 likes, this has 5 likes, and then you can send offers that way. So let's show you how to send an offer. What I would do is I would click on the image, or like I said, you can go through your news feed, and here I would just hit offer, and then I would say offer to likes. And then this is where you can actually type in the price that you want to offer, or hit that nifty calculator and give a 10, 20, or 30% off. I'm just going to do a flat 30% off. Let me apply it. And then you can see it automatically calculates my earnings for this item. Now, a nice thing is to give a little bit of a shipping discount, gives a little bit off for the buyer, and gives a little more incentive to potentially act on buying this item. But that's 100% your choice. You can do no shipping discount. You can do the $4.99 shipping discount, which means the seller shipping discount is $1.50. So you can see that that earnings price was adjusted slightly since I applied the shipping discount. And then all I would do is I would hit submit. And then this was sent to all of my likers for this item. Now, you knew how to send an individual offer for a specific item, but that can get tedious if you have 50, 100, 200 items in your closet to go through each thing that someone has liked and send offers. Let me show you how to send bulk offers. You would want to come to your closet homepage, and there's this little nifty tool icon that you can click, and it says right here, make offers to likers. Click that, and then this is when you would offer a big lump sum. So this would be your whole closet if you would like to choose. So let me show you. I'm just going to say 30% off for all of my items, and I am going to give a shipping discount. Let's hit next. Now, to show you the prices right here, it breaks it down for you. It shows you what the offer price is to the buyer, and it also shows you your earnings, so you're well aware of what you're getting. Now, personally, if I'm going to share my whole closet and do a bulk offers, I like to price from high to low, and then I'll just simply hit the select all button, and I'll scroll all the way down to the bottom so all my items get selected. Now, I like to keep an eye out because obviously as items get lowered in your closet, or you drop prices, or they've been hanging out and you just kind of want to sell them, the earnings price gets lower, so you can see what you want to send offers to. Now, if I get down here and I say, oh, I don't want to drop this low, I just simply uncheck these items, and then these offers will not be sent to these lower items. So with bulk offers, you don't have to send to your entire closet, which is really nice, but you can also pick and choose what you send bulk offers to. And you can see the total of items that you have selected to send offers to. Then you hit submit, and then it is confirming that this is what you want to send to your listings. And then once you hit submit, when it loads, then you can see it's sending and it loads as it's going. So I just leave the page open, I don't exit out, and I wait till it is fully done sending offers to all 133 items. So like I said earlier, as a buyer, you can send offers to the seller as well. So let me show you what that would look like on the buyer's end. So let's say I'm interested in this J. Crew button down, and here I want to make an offer. I can pick offers that Poshmark has given me, 5, 10, or 15%, or I can create my own offer. So maybe I want a little more than 15% off and I send a $30 offer. And then I simply just hit submit. I'm not gonna do it because I don't actually wanna purchase this item. But then if you do submit and send an offer, as the buyer, you can cancel these offers. As a seller, if I were to bulk send offers or send offers to likers, I cannot cancel the offer sent. The only way to cancel the offer sent, what I've learned, is if you go into the listing and edit the listing and change the price. That cancels the offer. Poshmark offers a flat ground advantage shipping price, which the buyer pays for. But as a seller, like I showed you, we can offer a discounted shipping price, which takes off some of that price for the buyer. Now, I don't think the buyer is aware on their end of this, but as a seller, our limit for shipping is £5. If we go above £5, we as the seller have to cover those shipping costs. And like I said, some people like to offer shipping a discount, some people don't. I like to put myself in the buyer's shoes, and if I saw someone gave me a discount on the item with a little bit of a shipping discount, it's a little more incentive to buy the item. So what happens once you send the offer? You just wait. The buyer can accept the offer, they can counter offer, they can just ignore it. The offer expires after 24 hours. Now, if the buyer comes and counters offers, you can always counter offer back. If you don't like how low they went, or if you want to stick at that offer price you gave, just counter back that same offer. So this is the offer rule that took me forever to understand when I first started, but if I have an item that I'm sending a 10% discount to a buyer, and say next week I want to send the 10% discount again, well, it's not going to be sent to the buyer because the offer always has to be 10% more than the previous one. So I could send a 20% discount and then the following week send a 30% discount and then continue on from there, but it always has to be 10% more than the previous one.
What?
Now, to reset this, I would just, after, a couple months the item being listed, I like to lower my items by 10%, and then I can resend the offer and send a 20% offer, and then a week later send a 30%, and then 40, and so on. So let's just talk about lowball offers. If you are brand new and haven't experienced lowball offers, or you're kind of been hanging out and been around for a while and you get lowball offers
And they infuriate you?
don't worry, everyone gets upset with lowball offers, but I like to have a different take on it. So the way I see and the way I look at lowball offers, of course, there's a little bit inside of you. If you have an item listed at $50 and they send you a $10 offer, of course, there's a little bit inside of you that's like, really? Like, come on, why? Just why? But, there's other things to also keep in mind. The buyer could potentially have sent a lowball offer and really just sent a lowball offer, or they sent an offer because that's what they perceive the value of the item, or that's what they're willing to pay for the item. Maybe they're just trying to get a deal and see if you accept, or that's truly all the money they have to spend on an item at the time. Now, as a seller, you have the choice to counter offer and not accept the offer that they're sending. If I got lowball offers, I would always counter offer. I think ignoring or declining the offer doesn't really continue the engagement on the Poshmark app. I don't necessarily think there's proof out there, but I do think if you counter back, it's a signal that you're willing to negotiate or communicate back and forth. And if you want to offer a little bit above their lowball offer or considerably above, that's your choice as the seller. It's your item, that's what you're selling, it's your choice. And now I have also changed my mindset a little bit on my counter offers. Because if I, let's say, have an item listed for $25 and someone sends me an offer for $15, well, I really wanted $20 for the item, but $15, can I live with that? The profit that I make from it, and I okay with that? If I counter back 20, will they accept it? So that's your choice if you counter. But now sometimes I just accept it, especially if it's not considerably low. I mean, if they sent me $5 on a 25 item, sure, I'd counter back. But at $15, I've just realized I'd much rather make the money than hold an item or hold for the buyer another 3-6 months or a year or more for them to sell a simple $15 item. It all depends on what you know the value of the item at. I mean, if it is a $300 jacket, why sell it for $50 when you can get $200 for it or something? That's something I might wait a little bit for to make a profit on. But if it's a smaller item that's under a certain amount of money, I'm okay with just making the money. But this has to be your decision and what you decide. It's just a little different take because I know from hearing other resellers on how infuriating lowball offers are. And I just wanted to give you a little different take on it so you don't get as annoyed with it and kind of think about it from the buyer's side as well. And sure, maybe you're not going to send a lowball offer like they would, but also you never know their situation or what their intention is. And maybe they're just trying to get a good deal and have fun with it. That's the point. I love the offer feature because I do. Sometimes I've gone back and forth with someone like 6 or 7 times because it started at like $50 and then they offered like 25 and I was like, no. And I put it to 40 and then they offered 30 and then I put it like 35 and they offered 30 and then I accepted. And it was like back and forth and it's fun. So have fun with it.